The state has reinstated its case against journalist Rehani Isidore 3 days before Christmas. Just a few weeks ago, the High Court had thrown out the Crown prosecution's case against the news reporter. The journalist was accused by the state of phoning in a bomb threat at the George F.L. Charles Airport in February 2019, but the matter was dismissed in courts forthwith. But it appears investigators and prosecutors are not relenting. Isidore was rearrested by police on Tuesday, December 22, 2020. Confirmation of his detention came from Superintendent responsible for crime management in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, George Nicholas, in an interview with News Force prior to the laying of charges.
What I can confirm is that a media personality was brought into custody this morning. He has not been charged as yet, so I will not disclose his identity. But in the short order, three matters will be reinstituted against the individual.
Previous cases against the news reporter were also dismissed during the past year, and in November, Isidore scored a major legal victory in the High Court after his attorney successfully argued that the prosecution's case in the bomb threat matter was found wanting. The grounds for refiling a case have not been publicly disclosed. Critics in the wake of this latest arrest have raised a number of questions about the legality and constitutionality of the move. Superintendent Nicholas was asked whether the reinstatement of proceedings is unusual.
Has this ever happened before?
This is not an unusual procedure in the history of the judicial system. Obviously, we cannot go into the merits or demerits of the reason why it was done. I'm sure the appropriate place for that would be in the courthouse, and we'll hear arguments on both sides where the judge will make a ruling on the matter.
The reintroduction of the case has been vexing for some and perplexing for others, including some stunned legal observers. Nicholas balked on the question of the agency or legal authority behind this course of action.
I'm not sure it is relevant at this point to determine whose call it is and whose call it's not. At the end of the day, what we want is for justice to be served, and that can only be done when a matter has been brought before the court. So let us allow due process to unfold, and I'm sure that at the appropriate time we will come to a conclusion in this matter.
Isidore's travails began in September 2016 after Prime Minister Alan Chastanet publicly berated the journalist and threatened a defamation suit against the reporter and his then employer, HCS, demanding an apology over an alleged slip-up in coverage of Prince Harry's visit to St. Lucia. Apart from the public confrontation, legal troubles would follow in the criminal courts in 2017 and 2019. More than 4 years later, Chastanet, citing Isidore's court battles, would snub the journalist, now in the employ of NBC Television, during a media scrum. Just over a month ago, supporters of the embattled reporter breathed a collective sigh of relief with what seemed like the end of an eternal ordeal with news of legal victories in all the matters before the courts. There were reports of the constitutional implications and whether attorneys for the reporter would seek damages in the civil courts. However, the reprieve was short-lived, with the beleaguered reporter this week once again in the legal crosshairs of the state. Colby DeVoe, HTS News Force.